Hi, and welcome back to my playthrough of Darkest Night. Right now it seems we are preparing more or less our final fight against the Necromancer. To be honest, I'm not so sure if I will be really able to get him at the mountains, but at least I have a slight chance. And that's because the rogue carries the Holy Relic at this point in time, and also all the others are more or less present in order to take over this Holy Relic. So for once, we could think of giving the Holy Relic to the Knight, and the Knight could then later use his Oath of Valor, for example, or the normal charge ability or something like that in order to attack the Necromancer. We could also give the Holy Relic to the Wizard, who still has his Lightning Strike power available. So this would also let him at least roll 3 dice. And together with the Holy Relic, in the end, you only need to roll at least 1 6. And of course, you have to make sure that no other blight is present with the Necromancer. But let's not start dreaming at this point in time. Let's start our turn here. And I think I will make it easy again, so I will start with the Druid. And the Druid is down at 1 grace only and 1 secrecy, so I think for him it's pretty clear. He stays where he is. He will pray this turn, though there will be no event card, there is no blight present at this point in time. So we can directly skip all these phases and jump to the action phase. So let's roll 2 dice, and this is much better. And so he's able to gain 2 grace at this point in time. So he's back at 4 now, which is not too bad. And also he would gain 1 secrecy because he stayed in the monastery. Next we will have the Wizard take his action. And of course, the Necromancer is present, so the Wizard has to lose 1 secrecy. Then I think we are still at the beginning of his turn, so we will use the Rune of Clairvoyance here, and then we will have a peek under the event deck, I guess. Yeah. So let's have a look under the event deck, and this is a Vile Messenger with a strength of 4. You cannot elude this messenger. In case of a failure, we would have to increase the darkness track. I think this could be really worse, so let's face it and bring this Wild Messenger into play. Again, it's a turn of the Wizard, so he will try to fight this guy. Just allowed to roll 1 die. We need a 4. And yeah, wow, that was really good luck. And we were able to evade this Vile Messenger. Awesome. And then the Wizard will try to attack this blight here, the Cursed Blight, because we want to move the Knight towards this location, and each hero that comes to this location would lose 1 grace. And this is definitely something we don't want to have here, so we will use our Lightning Strike power, which lets him roll 3 dice. We need a 5 because of the might, so really let's hope for the best. And yeah, we were lucky, so this curse is destroyed. We have to exhaust the Lightning Strike, so this is definitely something that's not so nice. Of course, because we actively attack the blight, we have to lower the secrecy by 1 point. And then the Wizard still needs to engage the Lich, and again we will roll 1 die, and here it really doesn't matter, we just need a 5. And yeah, again he's lucky. Good job, man. So he doesn't suffer any wounds here, which is really nice. Now we can move the Knight to the mountain, so we will move her up there, and for the movement she would gain an additional secrecy. Then we take the Holy Relic from the Rogue to the Knight, and then we lose 1 secrecy because of taking this Holy Relic here. And finally she has to engage the Lich. She will use her charge tactic, so she would be allowed to roll 2 dice. We need again a 5. And wow, what a good turn this is. And so we don't suffer any wound here as well. Last but not least, we can deal with a Rogue. Of course, the Rogue will also lose 1 secrecy because the Necromancer is present. Let's draw our event card, and this is an altar again. Again, we would roll 1 die, and we could hope for a 4 to 6. And yeah, again we are lucky, and he might now spend 1 secrecy to gain 1 grace, and I think that's definitely a good idea. So let's lower our secrecy and increase our grace. And then we spend another secrecy of the Rogue because we want to use the ambush power here, and this lets us now roll or attack with 3 fighting dice, and as we want to get rid of the Lich here, we definitely need that. So we would be allowed to roll 3 dice. Again, we need a 5 or more, and he failed. Wow, that's a dramatic ending of a otherwise great turn, I have to admit. But definitely we cannot help it. The skull here says we have to spend 1 grace in order not to take a wound. And then we come to the phase of the Necromancer. Again, we will have to increase the darkness track, and now whenever he would end his turn on an empty location with no blights, he would cast 2 blights instead of only 1. But first of all, let's roll his movement die for the Necromancer, and this is a 5, and that's definitely high enough that he would more or less see any of those guys. So I think he will stay where he is, and then we can directly draw him the map card. And for the mountains, these are the shades here, and there are normal creature blights who are not too strong but have a relatively high awareness. The only problem, of course, we have to deal again with 2 blights at this location. I think we will start the next round with a rogue again. First of all, we have to lower our secrecy because the Necromancer is present, and then we have to draw ourselves the event card. This is again the Horde. We have to compare this to the secrecy, which is still at 3. So we have to face a large Horde here with an awareness of 4. I think he can elude with 3 dice at this point in time, so this shouldn't be a problem. Oh gosh, I really should have kept my mouth shut. This is now really not so nice. But we have to face it. We have to lower our secrecy again. Then again, we will use our ambush ability here. And this ambush lets us lose 1 secrecy. Then we will try to attack. Really doesn't matter. I think we will go for the shades. No, we will attack the Lich here. No, let's go for the Lich here and really hope for the best. We need a 5. Oh, and this time he's really doing much better, so we killed this Lich. Of course, I have to lower the secrecy again for the rogue because he actively attacked this Lich. And I think I just noticed I forgot that during the last turn when he failed to attack the Lich, but this doesn't help. We have to lower our secrecy again. Luckily, that's not a problem for this turn, but definitely he has to make sure now maybe to get away during the next turn, because he would definitely have to engage the Necromancer. And now we could really end the game at this point in time. And then the knight could go for a charge action, which would let her roll 2 dice, and then we need a 6. And the 6 is sufficient because the Holy Relic adds 1 to that. Yeah, let's give it a try. Of course, first of all, we have to lower our secrecy. And I think then we will use our Rune of Clairvoyance to check the event deck. And this says Betrayal, lose 1 secrecy. I think this is something we can live with that, so we will just play it for the wizard, who will lose 1 secrecy. And now it's really getting tense. So the wizard will definitely try to attack the shades. Again, he's only allowed to roll 1 die, and we need a 5 or more. So let's hope for the best. And no, he's not lucky. So he has to spend 1 grace. Then the shades will attack the wizard. But this time he only needs to roll a 3 in order to not take an additional wound. And this is really important now. And yeah, this time he made it, so he stays at his current grace of at least 1. Of course, we also have to lower his secrecy once again, because he was actively attacking a blight. Then again, it's the turn of the knight, I think. And the knight has to lose 1 secrecy because of the Holy Relic, and again 1 secrecy because the Necromancer is present. So let's see what we have. Oh gosh, this is again the ritual. I can spend 1 grace and lose 1 secrecy to cancel this event. We have to count the blights at the current location. This is only 1, so we would have a new blight there. We will fight anyhow. We cannot destroy the Necromancer in this turn, so I think this is not completely bad. So let's just live with it and draw ourselves an event card. And this is a corruption. And these are the corruption blights. And the corruption just lets us use no bonuses. Overall, not too bad. And now the knight will attack, I think, the shades. And therefore, we have to lose one secrecy, and this time we will use the Oath of Purging, and this gives us 2 additional fights when attacking blights, and together with our charge tactic we would be allowed to roll 4 dice, and we'll need at least 1 5. So let's really hope for the best this time. Yeah, that's a very good roll. And so the shades are destroyed. The oath is fulfilled now, so we have to more or less deactivate it. And because we fulfilled it, it says destroy a blight, you gain 1 grace. And this is definitely something we can use quite well. Then we come to the druid. The druid does not have to draw an event card, he will just move into the mountains, and therefore he gains 1 secrecy. And basically there are no end of turn events or no blights that do any harm, because this corruption just disallows the use of bonuses, but you don't have to fight that during the end of your turn. Again, we advance that darkness track. We roll for the Necromancer, but that's not really necessary because the rogue is down at 0 secrecy, so the Necromancer here stays where he is. And this is already the end of my episode for today. I really was hoping that I could finish him off, to be honest. I truly believe that. So now we have to definitely wait for an additional 2 rounds, because first of all we have to activate the Oath of Valor for the night. This would mean we would lose 1 turn for that. We have to move the rogue out of danger here, definitely back to the monastery in order to heal up. And the only real action we can take during the next turn is the druid, who can more or less get rid of one of these one of these blights here. Yeah, I hope to see you in my next episode. I hope you are still enjoying this, and until then, bye bye.